Hey everyone, hope you guys are doing well. With Black Ops 7 releasing, there are many changes coming to zombies, some good and some that still need some tweaking. I am upset I did not make this video sooner because a lot of the changes that I wanted them to make were changed and for the better, and that's great news to hear, but I still believe that there are enough ideas for this video where it needs to be released and can stand on its own. First of all, I'm going to go into the positives, then I'm going to go into the negatives, and then I'm going to go into what I want to see return or what I want to see them keep. First of all, I loved the boss fights. Some of these boss fights from Black Ops 6, like Patient 13 when he first came out, not the end of the life cycle, the Guardian, the Z-Rex, hell, even Richtofen, because you still need strategy, and if you have teammates you need to work together, you will die, were so fun, and whoever that person was to help design or create the boss fight, they need a raise and be brought back because they crushed it. Number 2, having augments to perks. Augments add so much variety and character to each perk, and of course you will have your clutch perks like Tribologist for PhD Flopper, Dying Wish for quick revive, especially on solo. But for each map, you could have a different augment. For example, the Reckoning, you might want to have Free Faller for no fall damage, and Hot Foot for Ether Blade so you can run incredibly fast. For the Z-Rex on Shattered Veil, you might want to have Turtle Shell so you don't get hit in the back when you're running away from the Z-Rex. And it just adds so much more to the game and makes every time you hop on feel different. Number 3, being able to upgrade multiple times. I remember when I was younger hoping that you can upgrade more than once, and I remember my first time playing Town on BO2 Zombies, putting my gun in the Pack-a-Punch for a second time and losing my mind wondering if I got a fully maxed out gun, more damage, just anything at all. And all I got was a different red dot sight. And BO1 you couldn't even put it in the Pack-a-Punch once. On Black Ops 3, it was great being able to double tap, but it virtually made every gun the same with the special abilities. I like being able to upgrade 3 times, but 50k is a lot of money to be fully upgraded, and having it to be a necessity past round 35 is a little brutal, and just keeps you in that one gun range where you can't really try out other guns for the map on this, same game. But overall, I like the idea of being able to upgrade more than once, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Number 4, and this is probably my biggest one, is having every single perk in the game. I see so many people complain about how every perk removes the authenticity of the game, or that it has to be a 4 perk limit, and that's how it's always been. Yes, there's been a 4 perk limit in the past, but let me tell everyone right now that that has never been the case, besides World at War, because there was only 4 perks in the game, and one of them was completely useless on solo, being Quick Revive. And if you were on Derice with the Wonder Waff, you had 2 perks, because Jug was removed, because if you were shocked, you could kiss that perk goodbye, and you are not getting that back for the rest of the game. In Black Ops 1, you had 4 perks in Kino originally until Mule Kick was added, but no one's added Mule Kick. 5, if I remember correctly, there was only 4 perks besides Mule Kick. Ascension, that's when they started adding perks, and you're not even getting all 4 perks. You're getting 2 because the monkeys, unless you want to manipulate the spawn system, which is so tedious, and if you can kill all of them, yes, you get a free perk, but you're immediately losing it in a few rounds. Call of the Dead, you can get every perk by killing George Romero. It takes a while, but still attainable. Shangri-La, you can kill the monkey when they take your perk. If you kill them at the right time, you can get a free perk once again. By Moon, if you complete the Easter egg, you get every single perk in the game. Black Ops 2, Transit, using the Tombstone method, and even in Town. Die Rise, if you don't get hit with the jumping jacks, you get every perk in the game. Very easy if you have the Bowie knife, or I can't think of what the Galvanuckles, sorry. Oh my god, that was making me lose my mind. Mob of the Dead is the only map where you can't get every perk in the game, but there are only 5 perks, so you're not missing much, and it's either between Deadshot and Electric Cherry, and I like Electric Cherry, but trust me, Electric Cherry is not saving you on round 50. And of course, Origins, if you get the Golden Shovel and Zombie Blood, which can be obtained on every round with the Ice Staff, you can get every perk in the game. Black Ops 3 with Gobblegums, you can get every perk in the game, so the notion that there is always 4 perks, Yes, like I said, there was a 4 perk limit, but you're able to acquire every perk in the game with a series of challenges, something that BO6 has done with their maps with Shattered Veil, hitting the bell 115 times. Still ridiculous, I agree. The Reckoning with the Mr. Peaks Hoops, and the Red Button, Perkaholic side Easter eggs with Terminus killing 50 fish, Crab Island hitting the crabs with a baseball bat, the Tomb lighting the fires, Citadel, the Raven, again, that is very ridiculous, having to follow it for 7 minutes. The worst one on this list by far, and it's not even close. Probably the worst side Easter egg to get a free perk in Zombies history. Also, free PhD in Citadel Day More by getting the 3 bottles. Shooting Mr. Peaks, the Rat King side Easter egg. Now, I do think that there needs to be some minor changes with the perk system, but this notion that we can't have more than 4 perks is just ludicrous. I needed to get that off my chest because that has been bothering me for a while now. Now, let's get into the worst features. And even with these features being the worst, some of these I don't think need to be removed, just have some major changes. Now, number one, the biggest one is the story. In Cold War Zombies, the characters were very limited and didn't really start to develop their characters until the very end, and in Black Ops 6, the story did not get much better. I have very little what is going on or what the point of the story is. Like, I know the basis of it because of what the characters always say in the game or because I've watched all the cutscenes. I know Richtofen's family was taken. I know Samantha wants her body back. Kraft is Richtofen's adopted father. But I just don't know the point, and I don't care to find out. The only 2 characters that I know are Peck and Maya. I like those 2 characters from the story. Other than that, can't tell you any other characters. Number 2, the rarity tools. This is something that is not the worst, and I would like to see refined in BO7, but I hate using salvage to upgrade my gun. I do not like doing the because I do love doing the challenges, like what I saw in the Reckoning with the plates where you can get the rarity tool and the upgrade crystal, or even the tomb with freezing the waterfalls. So if you can bring something like that to every map, I can find to be really fun, and being able to do it multiple times in case you want to get a different gun, I think that that would be a great system to add. Now, by far, in my opinion, the worst feature are the armor plates. This is something I think needs to be removed from Modern Zombies. It feels like Warzone has invaded zombies, and they were trying to make it like Warzone back when Cold War was out, because Warzone back in 2020 and 2021 is what kind of revived Call of Duty, and at one point was the biggest game ever. But even when Cold War was out and the armor system was implemented, it was not received well then, and it is not received well now. This is probably the biggest thing that I don't want returning into BO7. There are some changes that I think can mitigate the armor system, and I heard that they're making some changes, which is for the better, and if I made this video sooner, it would have been a correct prediction. I heard that they are doing something like the golden armor plate system after an Easter egg where you can never put in the plates manually, and it puts it in over time. Or with Vulture Raid, there's going to be an augment, and it will just replenish over time, which would be huge. Now, this is a little bit more of a side note because we have seen some gameplay footage from BO7, and I just wanted to go over this, but the HUD, I am not joking when I say within the first 5 seconds of watching any gameplay of Zombies, the first thought that went into my head is, I hate the layout that is being displayed right now. It looks like a worse version of MW 2022, the worst Call of Duty of all time, in my opinion. An MW3 HUD. Get it off my screen. I don't like it. Hate it. Burn it. Good riddance. But the good news is that they said that they're changing it and making it to be a different HUD similar to the older Call of Duties, which is good. But something I did want to mention, that ain't it. Now, those are the worst features that, if were removed from the game, I think would be better, except maybe the rarity tools. I think that you can maybe get away with that. But now here are the things that I want to see in Black Ops 7 that I think could make the game succeed. Number 1, this is the biggest thing. I want to see a relevant mystery box / wall weapons again. Now, I've heard that they're trying to do something to improve on the mystery box by removing score streaks and increasing rarity on higher levels, which is great. But honestly, what I think they should do is just have all rarities be the same. So maybe on round 5 and below, it's all green weapons. Round 10 and below, it's blue. Round 15 and below, it's purple. And round 20 and up, it should be all legendary weapons, because that would be such an incentive to hit the mystery box rather than just have your own gun from what you want. It gives you more variety. I do think that there should be a map or two where you can only get the wonder weapon through the mystery box. Now, just to be clear, I love doing the quests like getting the staffs on Origins or getting the Beam Smasher on Terminus and collecting the skeletons from Mob of the Dead for the free Blundergat, but sometimes having the Scavenger from Call of the Dead, the Thunder Gun from Kino, the Ray Gun Mark II from Black Ops 2 only being acquired from the mystery box made it a necessity to hit it, and being able to finally get it was such an adrenaline rush, especially with your buddies and all of you hitting the mystery box and you finally get it and everyone is freaking out. It is so fun and just adds more chaos to the game. I understand it can be annoying relying on the RNG to decide how well you do or how fast you can do the Easter egg, like how it is with Moon getting the wave gun or the Gersh device, but with the Wonder Bar Gobblegum, you can now strategize what maps to use the Wonder Bar, and if there are only certain maps where you can get the Wonder Weapon from the mystery box versus being able to build it, it would add so much more authenticity to the game. I only used the Gobblegum pack once, and that was because I had enough COD points from the Battle Pass over the years, but I never buy bundles or packs. Activision has taken enough of my money, they don't need more. But if you play the game over time, you can get the Wonder Bar. So I only have like 3 or 4. So if there is only 1 or 2 maps where you can get the Wonder Weapon through the mystery box, I think I would be using the Wonder Bar only on those maps. So I'm not saying to have this on every map, but maybe 1 or 2 maps would be a lot of fun. Similar with the wall guns, I have always relied more on the wall weapons rather than the mystery box, like the MP40 or the KN44. I want to see relevant wall guns again. I think an awesome feature to have, similar to BO3 or almost exactly like BO3, is being able to customize your guns. So when you buy it off the wall, the customizable features that you have are used on your gun. That would make buying wall weapons so useful again, and it would just be that itch that so many OG COD players have been craving for. Number 2 is more original wonder weapons. I liked how the jet gun was brought back and was better than it was from BO2. And yes, I did love the Ray 2 coming back and with their variants from BO4. But with the ice staff, yes, I loved using it, but these are reused wonder weapons and it feels kind of lazy. Just doesn't give any uniqueness to the map, and when you hear the Winter's Howl, you think, wow, absolute garbage, 5. When you think of the Blundergat, you immediately think of the Vitrolic Withering or Mob of the Dead. Now when I hear the Beam Smasher or the Goric effects, I think of Terminus and the Reckoning. I get not making a new perk for every single map and understanding because that's just too many perks and would just overcrowd the zombies game, but you can never have too many wonder weapons, and having the same reused wonder weapons, maybe besides the ray gun Mark 1 and 2, over and over and over again can be very repetitive, especially if you're going to continue making Black Ops games. Half the maps were reused wonder weapons, and again, I am okay with having it on maybe 1, maybe 2 map, but half of them, that's a bit much. Number 3 is knifing. Now, knifing it needs to be more than headshots. Don't care if it's the modern point system, the old point system, or BO4's system. Knifing at the beginning of rounds were so crucial and important to zombies' history. With BO4, it was 90 for a base kill and 120 for a knife. The old point system, it used to be 100 for a headshot, 60 to 70 on the chest or neck shot, and 130 for knifing. Now it's 115 for a headshot and 110 for a frickin' melee. There were so many more options you could do with the knife at the beginning of the rounds. You could shoot the zombies a number of times until you thought it was 1 knife or a 2 knife to maximize points, or you could just knife people at the beginning of the rounds until it was a 3 or 4 knife. Knifing is now useless, and there is no point of taking out your knife unless you are running or doing a challenge. So that's why I think knifing needs to be more prominent in future games. I don't care if I sound like an old head, I just want my knife back. Which leads me into my next topic, point system. Please go back to the old point system. I'll even take BO4's point system. There was so much you could do with the old point system with shooting the knifing, like I said earlier. or using SMGs to farm points. It made using most guns useful and gave you more variety with the map. It made hitting the mystery box and getting wall weapons useful, even with how much buying armor, upgrading perks and doors. The old perk system or point system would be so much better because you could strategize to set up better. Number 5 is being able to pack a punch multiple times. Like I said earlier, I like being able to pack a punch 3 times, but I do not like that it costs 50,000 points to fully upgrade your weapon, because it really locks you down to only one gun instead of being able to try different guns throughout the game. How many times, for example, have you hit the box with the Galil from BO1 or the AUG and you get something like the Commando or the HK or the RPK and you think to yourself, I'd rather have the Commando because of the dual mag, or I'd rather have the HK or the RPK in later rounds just to shred through all the zombies and have a bigger mag. And even if you had your gun currently upgraded in your hands, you could still switch it out or change your mind because 5,000 points wasn't that much. Now, if you triple pack your gun and you see something like the ASFL, you might think to yourself, I want that gun, but I can't really do it because I just spent 50,000 points upgrading this gun 3 times, and I can't make up those points back. I think it needs to change. I think having 5,000 points for each Pack-a-Punch upgrade, or even 5,000 points for the first time, and then maybe the next two be 7,500 points, could be a good balance where you can still have a good weapon, but still be able to change it if you want to. Number 6 is the perk limit. Even though I said earlier that I like having all the perks and being able to buy them, I still think that there should be some changes to make it better, like being able to only have 4 perks until the Wonder Fizz appears on round 25, or having multiple challenges in the game, even repeating ones like shooting Mr. Peaks, or being able to find the rats to acquire the perks, the Crab Island, jumping through the hoops, make the game more replayable. Make you earn your perks and makes you strategize at the beginning of the rounds what's the most important perks to have right now, instead of just I'm going to grab every single perk. The first 3 are the most important, but I need to have every single perk in the game right now. Number 7, and this is a big one, not have as many mini boss fights. In BO6, there were so many manglers, abominations, doppelgaps, amalgams, and shock mimics. I should not be able to have to kill more shock mimics than zombies. Obviously an exaggeration, but you get my point. I like the Uber Klaus. He came in every 4 to 5 rounds. I felt like that was a step in the right direction. He felt more like a Brutus or a Panzer, where he wasn't overbearing like the Manglers or the Shock Mimics, but added a nice challenge to the game. If they can add more bosses like that, it would add so much more character to the map, and it would be a fun challenge. I did see the Bear and Ashes of the Damned, and if that's the bosses that come in every 4 to 5 rounds each map, that is a great start to BO7 zombies. Number 8, super Easter eggs. Having a super Easter egg like BO3 or Infinite Warfare, where it gave you an objective to do all the Easter eggs and it gave you an incentive. With BO3, you got the RK5 when you did all the Easter eggs, and with Infinite Warfare, you got a final boss fight and Director's Cut where you get every perk in the game and 25,000 points. That is such a cool Easter egg, and we were hoping to get that in BO6 with something like a golden armor plate or every perk in the game, like Director's Cut and Infinite Warfare, but there was nothing at all, and it was such a huge upset. Number 9, being able to refund perks. Especially if you put the 4 perk limit, being able to refund perks would be such a cool feature to add to the game, because with certain Easter eggs, you need to have certain perks, and you may or may not want that perk, and you might not want it to be in your first 3 slots, but it's a little hard when each perk increases in price, but being able to buy this perk off rip to do part of the Easter egg or for any other miscellaneous reason, and then being able to return it would be such a nice feature. It hasn't returned since Moon, and with the hacker, that is the only time you're ever able to refund perks. It was so cool to do, and maybe even with the super Easter egg, you can do that and put that in there. That would be a great incentive to do all the Easter eggs. Number 10, elemental wonder weapons. Origins with BO2, bows with BO3, and swords with BO6. It's time for another one. Even changing it up to different elementals would be awesome. Having something like an elemental punch and add melee macchiato would be such a great perk for that map, and make the map so much better with elemental wonder weapons. Number 11, return the ray gun to its former glory. The ray gun has had such a complicated, tumultuous lifespan where when it first made its appearance in World at War, it was good, really good with BO1, especially with PhD Flopper. And with BO2, it was pretty good. With BO3 and BO4, it was bad. Incredible, damn near overpowered with Cold War, and then very mid with BO6. Having the ray gun as good as BO1 or Cold War gives honor to the ray gun, and when you play with co-op or your teammates and having the wonder weapon for that map, it's nice to have a second classic wonder weapon that could be a save me wonder weapon. I know that this is more of a nitpick, but the ray gun is just such a classic and it deserves its flowers. Number 12, side Easter egg for specialists. I think that having specialists like Ether Shroud, Energy Mine, Healing Aura are nice features to have, but too overpowered, and doing it via the side quests would be such a great feature to the game and just feel rewarding once you unlock it. I get some people might disagree with me on this, but having a get me out of jail free card on round 1 just kind of feels unnecessary. Number 13, horror. They did a great job on the trailer for BO7 and farm survival mode. For a while now, Zombies hasn't really had that horror element since BO2. And when I saw the trailer for this game, that's what made me decide to have this bullet point on here, because if they can bring an element of horror and make the players scared again, this game would jump up in quality and make it a lot more enjoyable. Number 14, finally, is having Cursed in standard mode be out right from the open. It doesn't have to be unlocked via standard mode for the, Easter egg, or just having to play standard mode a number amount of times until you unlock Cursed. Just have classic Zombies. It's a bad attempt to make you play their mode. Just have both modes open from the start and having people play what they want to play. We are still going to be playing Zombies, and we're still all going to be having a good time. And if you want to switch over to standard mode, you can. And if you want to switch over to curse mode, you can. But having it be unlocked via something else, for standard mode is just, it's a bad attempt. And just have both of them out when the game first comes out, because everyone would be able to have a good time then. Now, this is more of a side note. I kind of want your guys' opinion. What do you guys think about jumping over or mantling over railings, stairs? Because in BO1 and BO2 and BO3, I always thought it was stupid sometimes how I died, and I'm like, really, I can't jump over that little box, or I can't jump over the railing. Now that I am able to do that, I notice that it's a little overpowered and it makes the game a little too easy. So let me know what you guys think about it. But yeah, that's everything I want to see from Black Ops 7. I think that if they implement some of these changes, it can make the game so much more enjoyable. Thank you so much for listening. Put in the comment section below what you guys want to see in Black Ops 7, what changes you want to see. If you like this, please leave a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one, and I'll be posting more videos soon. Stay updated. Peace.